Hello, my name is Master Andrew Trento, and this is the Martial Way. Last week I had my first episode explaining what I'm looking to do here on this channel and what martial arts actually is. So today I wanted to discuss some of the benefits the martial arts has for people and why people do martial arts in the first place, for adults and children. So I know for myself, people come to my center all the time for a slew of different reasons to do martial arts. Some of my other school owner friends have very similar reasons why their clients come in to learn martial arts. One of the biggest things that I always hear, and the first things I hear, is discipline. Parents are looking for discipline for their children, so they have a regiment, a schedule, focus for when they're in school. Sometimes kids will be kids, but there are other times where a child needs to learn to control their mouths, control their bodies, control their thoughts. And how you teach them is always going to be different. The early childhood age, which is 3 to 5 years old, will be taught in a very different way, where the younger children between 5 to even up to 12 years old will be taught. The adolescents also come to martial arts for discipline. Sometimes that's the hardest age to really keep focus. Awkward years, puberty, the social cliques that they meet as they go through high school. And it doesn't end from there. Adults look for that same discipline in their lives. I've had many adults come to learn martial arts because they're very angry, they're very stressed, work isn't going right, their marriage is on the rocks. Sometimes they just need a channel where they could use their energy in a physical way and at the same time gain some mental clarity. And it always goes down to discipline. You can call discipline control, if that makes any more sense. Control over your actions, control over your words, control over your emotions. That takes discipline. Some people look at discipline like shaming or berating discipline. But if you have a runner who runs every single morning, you might say, oh, they're really disciplined. They're very disciplined. So they have that control, that regimen, and that takes focus. The martial arts is a fantastic tool to developing focus, regardless of age. The two work hand in hand. Some parents bring their children to learn martial arts, and it's simply for exercise. But they get the whole package, because through that physical avenue of exercising, they develop the discipline and the focus together. Whether it's learning to raise their hand that they have to do in school, whether it's letting people have a turn when they're doing an activity or a drill, whether it's making sure that you listen to other people, hearing what other people say. So listening is part of that discipline and focus as well. There's a multitude of benefits when it comes to learning martial arts. Exercise is a big one. A lot of adults are looking to say, oh, I need to lose weight, and I gained all this weight since I started this new job, or I'm not in my 20s anymore. Of course, the martial arts is also a physical avenue. What I find is that it's easier to teach the children the mental aspects of the martial arts, the positive outlook, the focus, the discipline, and a little harder sometimes to teach the physical part. Where the adults, I find, catch on to the physical things, there's some limitations, but they always overcome them. But it's more of the mental philosophy that's very hard sometimes. Sometimes. I do not like the saying, you can't teach an old dog new tricks, because I've overcome that with many adult students. I might be younger than some of them. I might be around the same age as some of them. But no matter what, you can always reframe someone's view on life, someone's perspective on things. Wayne Dyer said, change the way you look at things, and the things you look at will change. A good martial arts teacher will envelop that lesson to all their students. Exercise, of course, focus and discipline. Sometimes people just come to learn how to defend themselves. That's another big reason. They want to learn how to defend themselves. Not to fight, but to defend themselves. It's not self-offense, it's self-defense. Unfortunately, we live in a world where things get more complicated and more scary as time goes on. Bullying is a problem in schools. Bullying is a problem with even adults in the workplace. Bullying has been around for years and has never gone away. There are many different types of bullying, some worse than others. I believe awareness is first, like in anything. There is mental bullying or mental abuse, where people don't have to say or touch you in any way, but it's the actions towards you, the gestures, the looks that cause that psychological trauma. The verbal bullying, the words, the comments, the threats, and of course the physical stuff, the pushing, the wedgies, the hitting, and that's any age. Adults get bullied. I couldn't believe it. I thought only kids, but it's amazing to see how many adults will bully each other. And of course, there's now the cyberbullying. We are in the age of technology. There are many different ways to approach self-defense, not just physically, but emotionally and verbally. There are a lot of strategies, but a good self-defense system will embody all aspects of self-defense. Sexual harassment, women especially, are targets for attacks, whether it's for information, their money, or their body. It happens, unfortunately. And attackers, which are mostly men, will view women as weak. Going through the ranks, I trained with a lot of women, and they were anything but. They were very strong women, very strong-willed women, and could physically overpower any man that I've ever seen. So all limitations on what's impossible goes away too. Positive perspective is always a benefit of the martial arts. You look at life in a different way. Nothing's impossible. Opportunities are everywhere. Obstacles are only opportunities in disguise. I know of adult martial artists who took a black belt test and then went into real estate. They had to take their real estate license test and everything. And they were so nervous and they were freaking out. And I remember one said, I went through a black belt test. I can do this. I can do anything. That confidence, those reference points, stays with you for your entire life. One of the biggest benefits I've seen in the martial arts, in my own center, when I was going through the ranks, at other schools that my friends own as well, even with each other, is the social benefits. You make friends that last you a lifetime, and that's the truth. I know I am still very close with people that I started with 16 years ago. I know my students that I taught years ago are still friends 10 years later, 9 years later. I see right now it's happening in my own center, a group of kids who are just so tight, not just on the mats, but off the mats. They do things in a social setting, but that's important, to have that positive interaction and a niche, an inner circle where you are encouraged, where you are built up, where you are supported. And it doesn't matter what age you are at. I've seen it with the adults who thought they couldn't make any more friends at this point in their life, or the kids who are just learning what it means to be a friend. The benefits to the martial arts go beyond the scope of our understanding. I'm sure there are many that myself and other masters continually see, wow, that's awesome. Wow, that's pretty cool. Wow, that's amazing. But it always goes down to our common denominator of training in the martial arts. If you're in the Bergen County area, my school is Trento's Martial Arts and Fitness Center in Rochelle Park. But I have many friends from all over. Just contact me. My email will be down here in the comment section. And I know martial artists throughout our nation who are fantastic martial artists who give these benefits to all of their students. You can also check out my blog at beingthecandle.blogspot.com. Next week, I'm going to talk a little bit about my first martial art, Taekwondo. It is one of the youngest and most popular martial arts here in the United States and in the world, being an Olympic sport as well. And we'll talk a little bit about the history of it as well. Again, thank you for joining me. My name is Master Trento, and that's your Zen for the day. Goodbye.